Good afternoon, everyone. I have assured my organizers that definitely I'll complete this presentation in 15 minutes. So, I will take you through a case study of Marico, and I think the theme is quality driving business growth. And I'm sure everyone will echo with it. Definitely, quality should be a key enabler for business growth. It should be a profit center. So, about Marico, 25 years of rich experience. Indian MNC, beauty and wellness. Our purpose is to make a difference to all our stakeholders, shareholders, our consumers, our business partners. Our values, think consumer to be big. And that's where the FMCG company, at the end of the day, what matters is our consumers. Because we always believe that if we have the right consumers with us, I'm sure they pay our salary. So these are some of our products, okay? 1/3 of our products. There are many of the products which into coconut oil, hair oil, Safola, serums, and many more. I think today, what I will talk about this case study, whatever Marico has been over 3 decades, one thing which stands out very clearly, we always think that we have to build value for our consumers, continuously building value for our consumers. And second thing, most important, is having an edge over our competition. And last but not the least, I think quality and quantity has to match. I think on that principles, on that foundation, Marico quality systems has evolved. So way back in 1995, that is 1995 to 96, when Marico was formed, earlier it was called as Bombay Oil Industries Limited, I think the focus was more on strengthening the basics. And that's, I think, if you have a right foundation, definitely you'll have a right quality systems in place. So our focus was purely strengthen our basics. And I remember in 1992 or 93, we worked with Suresh Rulla from Cumpro on a Juran quality improvement project. And Chairman Harsh Mariwal was personally the part of that project. I think that was very important. The culture that quality is important started from 1990, and that's where basic quality systems were in place. And then as we moved on, as the market dynamics were changing, consumer expectations were changing, we designed an in-house quality systems which is called as a Q-set. So from 96 to 2001, that was a phase 2. We have own guidelines. So we call as quality certification. And then from 2001 to 2007, again, we have our own, which we call as a Marico manufacturing excellence model. Now this is very important if you see strengthening the basics. Then as the things were changing around the environment, it was very important you have your systems and processes in place, your guidelines in place. And the beauty of this is, we sustained it for some years and then took the next leap. And that's very, very important in any quality management system. Not continuously change, sustain it, get the learnings, and then integrate it. And one of the most important things which I personally believe and have experienced is that quality has to be understood by the workman. For him, what matters, what he thinks quality is important. And I think that we did. On the shop floor, the workman, when he was filling a parachute bottle or a Safola or whatnot, we understood that for you, what is the quality. And once he knows what is expected of the quality when he's packing the bottle or when he's filling the bottle, I think your work is done. So that was a phase 2, QSET and manufacturing excellence model. The phase 3 was the business excellence. And this was a journey which we started in 2008. And I think thanks to Malcolm Baldridge and Ramkrishnan Bajaj National Quality, that is RBNQA, we took a lot of best practices from them, a lot of things from them, and we designed our own model as Marico Business Excellence Model. And that was around 2008 to 2021, 22. And then things changed differently. Okay, now we have integrated quality systems. I will talk about what changed and how did business excellence journey got imbibed in Marico. Again, the mantra has been very simple, co-create and keep it simple. Co-create, and this is, I again strongly believe, unless and until you involve everyone in the ecosystem, things will not work for you. And when I'm talking of an ecosystem, within the system, that is within the Marico and outside the Marico. For example, our business partners, our depots, our distributors, our vendors, suppliers, I think that has to be, the quality system and process has to be across that value chain. So what happened? So as I said, consumer expectations were changing and complexity was increasing. So we wanted to create a consumer-driven excellence in our processes. Again, as I said, as the expectation was increasing, social media, okay, was the increasing social media activism. We wanted to create a more value for our consumer. And in a FMCG company, definitely regulatory plays a very important role. So a lot of changes were happening in the regulatory. And we thought that it was very important that we have our own framework, that is a Marico Business Excellence Framework. And this is a Marico Business Excellence Framework. Okay, now you'll ask me, what is this? This is bicycle and whatever. This framework, we went to the shop floor because a shop floor people has to understand. Okay, so most of them who are the part of the business excellence will know this. These are some of the criteria. There is a process and there are results. So if you talk of the process, leadership, strategy, workforce, customer focus, operations, measurement and analysis, these are form of the process criteria, and finally the results. I always believe that if you have the right processes in place, you will deliver right results. So again, the business excellence model is based on the ADL. You have to have the right methods, that is approach, and where the effectiveness of the systems and processes are very important. Deployment of this across the value chain. We'll get a lot of learnings, and these learnings has to be integrated, okay, consistently refined, and it has to be integrated. Again, a framework, we have a level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So basically, the unit gets rated on a business excellence on these levels. And again, definitely there is a recognition. Okay, there is a best-in-class Marico Business Excellence Trophy. That is, if the score is 851 and more, and minimum score is 600. If you ask me, there are many Marico plans. There are also a lot of subcontract units. So the slide which I have showed you earlier, the maturity map, we start with QSET, we evolve them into Marico Excellence model, and then there is a business excellence model. It's not that a plant or a unit is ready for a business excellence model from a day one. So that maturity plan is made for each of the unit, and again each of the unit is assessed by a team. What are the challenges we face? Yes, mindset change. Why to change? Resistance to change was very huge. Shift, we wanted to make a big shift from a reactive to proactive, and especially in the FMCG industry, it's very important that we identify proactively things, risks and blind spots. Alignment with various functions was very important. What we also did it, QSET, when we launched it, it was not only for our manufacturing plants, but it was also for our HR function. And that's where we said it was very important, alignment with all the functions. Yes, capability, building up the capability and deployment of the model across the geographies, because Marico is into India and international. And again, integration of all the business processes. So how do we go about co-creation, alignment and involvement with all the stakeholders, business partners? Mindset change, I think this is very, very important for us, any quality systems and process to sustain it. So clarity on the organization objectives, culture building, quality culture building platforms were there. As I said, we created an in-house model. And again, here I have a strong believer that just don't copy paste. Whatever which is there, I copy paste into my organ. It will not work, I am telling you, it will not work. You have to customize it. You can capture the best practices. You can go and see all the other models, but at the end of the day, customize it as per your needs. Enhancing the capability is very important. If you have the model, then you have to have the right people to assess it. And we have developed assessors, business excellence assessors. And again, thanks to RBN QA. Every year we send a lot of our assessors to this RBN QA, and they become the assessors. As I said, Marico Business Excellence is a part of an induction process. So whenever a new person joins, he undergoes this framework. That's very important, that day one the new person joins. What we did differently, build quality in design. And someone has talked about it. It's very important. If you have to have a right consumer quality, quality has to be built in design. Embrace quality in a strategic planning process. And this was very important. In the strategic planning, quality was a key input, and we also are the part of the process. Involvement and empowerment, these are Marico core values. Empowerment is a core value. And live your values. Empower people. As I said, when a shop floor person is filling a bottle, just tell him what is expected. Empower him. If he tomorrow he stops the line, don't question him that why you have stopped the line, my productivity is getting affected. That will, he will then think quality, what is quality all about? He will think, arey, management ko hi quality nahi chahiye. So empower. Again, involvement is very important. If there are certain systems and processes we have to create, we go on the shop floor. And then this is what we want to do. Can you value add? What do you think? Leverage technology, that's definitely there. Drive synergy among all the systems. And again, there are various systems you have to bring all together. Platform for communication and feedback, very important. When we launched the QCert, Marico Excellence Model, we had a platform where people gave feedback, what was good, what was working, what was not. Walk the talk. And I think everyone will echo with me. It's very important that you just don't talk about, okay? Walk the talk. Yes, this I think helped us a lot. Benchmarking and integration of the best practices. We had a consumer cell, Marico consumer cell, and I can say it is ISO 10002 certified. One of the best, I can say proudly here. What we did, we benchmarked non-related industry, and this is what I have always learned from Dr. Suresh Lulla, benchmark non-related industry, and we benchmarked Taj Hotels, and that time Jet Airways, for their interaction with the customers. And I think that's very important, benchmarking with non-related industry, capture it, integrate into the system. And one more thing, Marico Business Excellence, we have assessors, RBNQ assessors, he goes to different plan, right from your health to education to your service industry. These assessors, when they come back, we have a meeting with them, we capture what are the best practices that they have seen, and then this gets integrated. And that's, I think, a big input for us to continuously evolve. Factor quality in the performance appraisal. And definitely when you succeed, recognize and celebrate success. What was the change? Process oriented, I think I am very proudly to say that yes, definitely today Marico is a process oriented, there is a rigor and compliance. Mindset change, very important. If you have to sustain it, non-negotiable quality. So it has to come from here and not that, okay, I will take exceptions, I will take here and there. Engaging, I think it's very important, learn from each other and share practices. Risk avoidance, shift from a reactive to proactive, and reduce cost of poor quality. I think definitely everyone talks about cost. Very important, we have to best quality and quantity. And first time right, we ensure that all our NPDs, when I'm saying NPDs, new product developments are first time right, otherwise it leads to a cost of poor quality. The second shift which has happened in the consumer value enhancement, and I'll just give a simple example, okay. You have oil, everyone uses oil, okay, edible oil. So typically our oil has certain parameters to check. It can be acid value, peroxide value, iodine and value and everything. So that's called as a manufacturing quality. So earlier Marico was into that part, only confirming to manufacturing quality. The shift which we did is, what does the consumer expect? The consumer expect when he fries the oil, when he uses it, the taste, the frying, when the housewife sees that oil, smells that oil, we integrate certain consumer parameters in a specification so that at the time of finished good they are checked. And we have now moved to consumer in-use quality. For example, I take a 5 liter Saffola jar, I use it on the day one, and I cook my foods and find fantastic taste and everything. On the 30th of the day, when it is emptied out, do I get the same taste? That is consumer in-use quality. That is consumer experiences quality or consumer in-use quality. We are moved toward that. So my quality, my design has to be so robust. So even after I use it for 30 days or 40 days or 50 days, it has to have the same quality which I am purchased from the day one. So that's a consumer value enhancement which we did it. And last, basically quality process across the value chain. Our value chain is vendors to right from the consumers. So we have a lot of, for example, compliance audit we do at vendors. We have a plant, I've talked about QCert, MMEM audits. Depot also we have integrated into our system, okay. DQR, capability building, distributors, retailers, and consumers. Basically, that's a value chain. So what are the benefits from the business excellence? Lot of our product, 95% of our products are either one or two, number one or two. COPQ reduction, I think this has helped a lot in terms of money, 22%. Capability enhancement, as I said, SSS at 30 plus train, multitasking, ability to keep in future ready products. Risk assessment and blind spots, I think that's a process in place where we've identified risks, okay, blind spot. We also do assessments and audits. Today, our audits have moved to a predictive audits. It's no more a compliance audit. And one most important thing which we have made, a change which we have made, if you do audits, you will get a reputation risk score. That's a unique thing which we have got into, a reputation risk score of. Everybody when they do an audit, they get a particular score, 70, 80, 60, but nobody knows what is 60, 70, 80 is good or bad. But what we have done, we have integrated in such a way that we have got a reputation risk score. So whenever a plan does the audit, we have a reputation risk scores. So what are the lessons learned? Some of the lessons learned from this entire journey. Rules choose results, definitely. Definitely at the end of the day, you have a right process, you should get the right results. Choose productive conflicts. No harmony, sab acha nahi hai, okay? So productive conflicts are very important. Accountability. I don't want to be popular, okay? Yes, there are certain people who are accountable for this, yes, they are accountable. Choose clarity. If somebody does not have a clarity, I think it's very important that you clarify to your bosses, to your colleagues and whoever. Choose trust. I think Marico, one of the core values is trust, okay? And for the paucity of the time, I will not tell that because there are a lot of processes which are, for example, vouchers and everything, okay, they don't get checked. Basically, it just passes through because we believe that we trust members. And yes, organization first, okay. At the end of the day, it's not a quality function. We have to wear an organization hat, and for us, the organization comes first. We always believe that a member, we call everyone as a member and not an employee. He should have an owner's mindset and not a tenant's mindset. I am the owner of the company. And when you start thinking that I am the owner of the company, 80% of the work is done and not a tenant of the company. This is a maturity roadmap. We have moved from a cosmetic, we were predominantly a cosmetic, to a foods. We also get into a fruits. And our maturity roadmap is pharmaceuticals. We want to achieve a pharmaceutical type of a quality and then many more. These are some of the awards which we have won in the past, okay, whether it is a business excellence, whether it's a Asia Pacific, CIA, Rajiv Gandhi, and personal thing. Last but not the least, I think this, I am sure everyone will relate. You can't do today's job with yesterday's method and be in business tomorrow. Change, evolve continuously. Thank you very much.